friends, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a year-end video I am super excited to do with you. This is going to be all of my favorites for 2022 and we are talking literally all my favorites. From makeup, skincare, drugstore, high-end to lifestyle, home goods, things like that. Everything in here from Amazon to makeup to xylophones. I don't have any xylophones. And I'm just trying to think of the end of the alphabet. Zebras. I don't have any zebras. But you know what I'm saying. This is going to be A to Z, all of the things that I have loved this year. It's going to be a long one. Grab your tea, grab your snack, grab your energy, get comfy, and let's dive into this very long, bound to be long video with all of my favorites for 2022. Cheers! All right, we're starting with the makeup because I feel like that should be up front and center, and then we're gonna move into some home goods, lifestyle, Amazon things that have made my life so much simpler now that I live in a regular size home, and all of the things that I have loved. Let's get into it. Starting with the thing that has saved my face. I have to kind of like start at the origin story of my face in the mornings because it actually starts the night before. I have gone through a wicked time this year, I think a lot of us have, where there's just been a lot going on and my skin has shown the struggles of life sometimes. I'm tired, there's a lot going on, and I was trying so much skincare, I feel like the past few years, I forget that sometimes I need to go back to the things that maybe just worked before. So I went back when I kept seeing dark circles under my eyes and I could not get them to go away. I was looking tired. I was looking, I don't know, less than my best. I went back to Mudmasky. How many of y'all remember me talking about this and couldn't shut up about it? This is the Mudmasky Vitamin Infused Eye Serum. I specifically put this under the eyes. And literally overnight, my skin brightens. Everything looks better. I focus this mainly under the eyes, but I also take whatever is left on my fingers here and press it through the top part of my eyes and anywhere else that I just have on my face if I want to. This has been a game changer for me to the point I have given this to family. I have a backup in my beauty space because this works. It just does. I have found it at inexpensive places online before, like Amazon, but they get sold out pretty quickly. If I can find a link for this, I will leave it below for you. But before I can even do any of my makeup in the morning, this is what I've had to pull back out. I feel like the past month or two to really just get everything brightened and awake up on my face again. So this has been super clutch for me. Had to start the video with it. Also, we're in the middle of a cold snap here in America, across the United States. A lot of us are in a cold snap, including here in Florida. I am not immune to it. We've had 30s and 40-degree weather, and my skin is just like, chick, what are you doing to me? This is not how I live my life anymore. And I'm like, fair. I'm freezing. I've had on sweaters, blankets. We've had the heat on. My skin is drying out like crazy. So I have been doing some old school, like back when I lived in the Midwest, routines to keep my skin hydrated. So because y'all I know are going through the struggle too, I thought I was going to tell you some things that just make my life a little bit easier. Some of them you may already have in your collection from like BoxyCharm and stuff for years. Some things you may have purchased on your own, but I got to tell you about them because it's the only way I've gotten through the past like week, 2 weeks. So I also went back home to the Midwest for some Christmas celebrations, some work trips, and my skin is PO'd. I promise makeup is coming. I feel like I have to tell you about the origin story of what is setting up the makeup for success with the skincare. In a BoxyCharm a while back, I got a Sunday Riley Tatcha Water Cream and fell in love with it, even in the blistering heat of summer. So I went to go buy some more of that earlier this year. Couldn't find it in the stores at Sephora. It just wasn't there, but they did have Tatcha Water Cream. So that is something that I have been using pretty religiously the past 2-3 weeks since this cold snap and traveling. This one is a Pore Perfecting Japanese Wild Rose. This has saved my skin because it has been so dry. This is the only way I have been able to put on foundations and powders and other things that I love to put on that has not allowed things to fall apart, be all kinds of too dry, cracking apart on me or anything. This has come in super handy right now. So I know these are pricier things, so if you can find one that's maybe on a sale, or if you're just curious, is it worth the investment? Or do you have one from a BoxyCharm? I am telling you, girl, a water cream will save your skin right now. At least it has for mine. Also, I've been really just wanting to take care of myself in the mornings. So I find if I give myself just like that 5-10 minutes in the morning before I start my day and start doing for others, I'm so much more filled up. So I've been loving jumping into, this is the Gen Skin eye masks. These are jelly little eye masks that are great, and they're very cooling, very chilling. They depuff, they do all kinds of great things, but it also just gives me that mental like, aha, you're on a rest moment. Take your morning for you, have some coffee, do your eye care, do your skin care, and just take care of you. This time of year is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, it is crazy, whether we're getting ready for the new year, wrapping up the holidays, going through just everything. We're on go, go, go mode. This is a great opportunity for you to start your day taking care of you, body, mind, and soul. You know what I mean? So I've been loving popping into these first thing in the morning, and I don't even find I need to chill them. One, it's cold right now. Two, they're very chilling. They're very cooling, even when I just have them sitting here in my beauty space. You don't have to worry about popping them in the fridge. I believe I've talked about these recently, but I have become literally obsessed with this Poised neck and decollete cream. I have traveled with this. I have a brand new bottle here because I have loved having them directly right here on my chest and my neck. As the skin has been tightening from the cool weather, I'm noticing this helps tremendously prevent creasing or undo creasing, let my skin be a little bit more plump in the areas where it's going to be more sensitive. This is where, as women, we start to age more, is our neck and our chests, our hands, things like that. This is an area I definitely target, and it is great. It is super, this is something that's a little pricey. From Mally's Cosmetics, this is a bit on the pricey side. You can do bundles, but this is like $49 by itself, but if you get two, it's $40. If you get three, it's $35 each. So, you know, you just kind of got to figure out if this works for you, but this is something that I have personally seen over time how well it really does work. So I wanted to mention that here in the beginning of my 2022 favorites, because I've been trying this all year to see, do I really see a difference? Does it do anything for my skin? And girl, it does. Now that I've told you some of the things that I have been loving in 2022 that are newer to my collection, maybe things that I have rediscovered or things that just change my skin game for the makeup, now let's get into some standbys. Some of these are like, oh man, these are just like my go-tos and I'm still using them up, and some are brand spanking new and I can't believe how well they work. More than likely, you won't be shocked if you have big bossy pores like I do and you're always looking to fill them before you go on to the makeup. This is kind of dull, maybe kind of boring. I think even Tati's sick to death of talking about it. But my Tarte Poreless Primer, this is like the Timeless Smoothing Primer. I'm still obsessed with this. I am hitting the very bottom of this because that's how much I have used her up. I use her in targeted areas here, here, and for my face up here specifically and down the nose. This helps a lot with the pores because I have a lot of pores. I'm just got bossy pores. Some people don't, I do. But I will say I found a competitor for this year. I do believe I kind of pulled away from this, even though she's still, I have to mention her in my 2022 favorites, because it definitely was something that I reached for significantly if you saw how far down it is. But let me tell you, I did a video sponsorship earlier this year with my friends at Shop Miss A, and I fell in love with so many of their products that they've replaced staples for me that I have used for years. Let me just tell you about this one. I did this full video on dollar makeup from AOA's Shop Miss A line, and the Clean Slate face primer is $1. It is $1 and it is so darn good. I love that their stuff is cruelty-free. The primer right here, she's thick enough, but then she melts down into practically nothing, and she keeps my makeup on. She also helps diffuse the pores. I don't know what witchcraft is in this $1 cruelty-free makeup, but I literally am doing that squeezy tube thing where I'm like pressing, because I've used it so much this year since I did that video. They're not sponsoring me to talk about this right now. I don't even know if they remember my name. I have no idea, but this has changed the game for me. $1. And right now it is coming off of the holiday times. Maybe you're a little stressed about just 2023 in general, maybe finances, maybe like what do I really need to start prioritizing, because I do this thing where I go through all of my goals in the beginning of the year and I'm like, where do I want to put my energy and my money each year? And if you're looking to have some inexpensive but quality makeup, check out the AOA line from Shop Miss A. I will link this below. Again, not sponsored, but this is something that I have found myself using all year long. I love it. And this is not gonna be the last time you hear me talk about them, because I fell in love with a lot of stuff that replaced staples in my beauty routine. So now I'm gonna tell you about foundations. Foundations are something that I've still not given up. I know a lot of people maybe have either started foregoing foundation. I just feel like that's crazy to me. That's insanity. I don't think I could ever not do a foundation if I'm doing my makeup. If I'm having a no makeup day, great, fine, totally fine. But if I need a foundation, I need it to either be, one, make my skin look amazing, like I'm not wearing makeup, but I am wearing makeup, or it needs to be able to build up. For a high-end version, I have a high-end and a drugstore. Don't worry. I've got my friends covered. For the high-end version, I think you couldn't avoid YouTube without hearing about this year. The Tarte for Face Cream Foundation and Finishing Powder Duo. Y'all, this is so good. Like, there's a reason that so many of us were talking about this year and have hit pan on it. I mean, it's one thing to say, oh yeah, I like it, I used it, but when you hit pan on it, that is an endorsement. I need this in another shade, I need this in another color, although right now this could totally be my jam. This foundation is, how do I describe you? It is creamy. It reminds me of an OG like drugstore. I think some of y'all told me it was a CoverGirl foundation back in the day when I was like in middle school, high school. You guys knew exactly what I was talking about, and that's why we're friends. I love you. This is super creamy, but it also is very forgiving, very malleable. It moves across your skin like it's a second skin. It's amazing. Also, you can still see my freckles, but it's like I have a filter on. It's like I am using Instagram with one of the natural no makeup pretty filters, because that's what it does to your real skin. Now, you can also build this up with a brush, and I will say that's when I learned I need something a little bit deeper toned for me, at least most of the year, because once I put on more of this, I see how it's just a touch too pale for me. But I've still made it work with like bronzers and stuff because it is that good. I can layer with this creamy foundation, and it doesn't pull apart, it doesn't break, it doesn't get clogged in my pores, it's not making me break out. Sensitive skin girl here, that is important. Fell in love with this. I think this is super good. The powder in here is also stunning. It's a really good combination to have. I can't believe how good this is. I am grateful that this is something that I can now reach for when I'm wanting a simple makeup day. Super simple. And I don't just mean that no makeup day that you still have to put a lot of energy into. You do not have to put a lot of energy into this foundation for it to just go on your skin, look smooth, beautiful, blended, down the neck and everything. And it lasts. I have done the whole sunglasses thing with it where I've tested like how bad does like the makeup break apart in the heat of Florida or in long wear days. This is great. I am still obsessed with this, still highly suggested if it's something you're looking for your collection where it's a little bit more versatile. Natural makeup, or you could build it up to be like a full beat. You do you. And I will one day probably have something to beat this, but right now I don't. And if you've been a longtime subscriber of mine, you are already well aware that the CoverGirl 3-in-1, is this advanced? Simply Ageless, Hyaluronic, Complex, Vitamin C, 3-in-1 foundation is still something that's going strong in my beauty space. I bought another shade for this winter time frame in the shade 225 Buff Beige. In the summertime, I use Warm Beige. And it's perfect. The reason I'm gonna say that this is perfect and a great option at the drugstore is, one, it's cruelty-free, which you know is kind of my jam. Two, I can also, similarly to the Tarte, do a light makeup day. You can still see my freckles. You can still see the essence that is my face and not a mask of makeup, because a lot of us have been veering away from that. But I can also build this up for a troubled area. If I definitely, when I couldn't find, I forgot about this, when I didn't remember I had this, and I had some dark circles under my eyes, and I was like, nothing's gonna hide this. No concealer in the land will ever cover what my face looks like today. This has a certain property in it, and I think it's having the hyaluronic complex with the vitamin C in it. It makes your skin look hydrated. It makes your skin look a touch, I don't want to say dewy for my oily skin girls because it could scare you. It just gives you like this nice glow from within, and you have no powders on yet. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the secret weapon that I used when I went to the Midwest in 20-degree weather, freezing. And I know some of y'all are like, girl, hold my cocoa. It's really freezing here. It's negative temperatures. I know, I'm sorry. But when I went in town, traveling, had drastic makeup changes, drastic skin changes with how quickly my skin went dry, this saved the game. This also, everybody was like, your makeup looks good at the end of the day. And we're talking early morning meetings all the way through the evening, like 7, 8 p.m. time. My makeup still all looked good. I even did a rinse off shower in the middle of it just to try to like get a little clean. And I didn't wash my face. Don't judge me right now. It's because I didn't want to redo things. I didn't have time. I had like 20, 30 minutes. Don't judge me. And this stayed on. This did not fall apart. This looked beautiful. This is a ride or die for me. Nothing has dethroned her at the drugstore for me yet. Just hasn't. Love her. All right, the under eyes this year changed for me. I still have some things that I love that I have used for years and like the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I don't like the matte, even though I have oily skin. I have 3 different color stories of the Hydrating because it's an amazing quality at the drugstore. e.l.f. is a great brand. Don't sleep on it. Love these. Yes, I'm still using them, but it's kind of just like, okay, like, it's not bad. It's good. It's just what I have to talk about is a little bit more wow for me. And I was a little surprised because I thought I was not going to like this brand. Item Beauty. I got this in a subscription box. I can't even remember which one. The shade that I have here is the shade 200 and it's the Air Hug Concealer. I even was surprised that I liked the color story, and usually, as you just saw, I usually still go old school and go a little lighter for under the eyes for brightening, and then I can do a little bit of highlighting with my concealer. That's just like a trick that I've done for years and years. This is not lighter than my skin. Let me show you. This is the e.l.f. color I would normally get. Clearly very, very pale, and again, a big doe foot, so this is very similar to my friends over here at Item. Big doe foot, kind of feels more like a stick, a little less fluffy like a doe foot, but it is closer to my foundation color. But for some reason, this was my go-to for like, I don't know, 6, 7 months. The formula really shocked me. I really found that it would get up under the eyes. It wouldn't crease too bad. I have very expressive eyes, so I feel like I'm always gonna have some form of creasing, but this really stayed put. I just kept finding myself reaching for this over some of the other things in my collection that I've had for a long time and trusted. So that happens a little organically sometimes when I'm doing makeup trials, testing makeup to review for you guys, and then it kind of isn't a conscious thing. I have to stop and go, wait, I've been using this over my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, or this over the ColourPop. I just find over time, this is a piece that I have reached for more so than the things I've historically told you I loved. So absolutely had to mention that for you guys because it works so well with my skin. And it surprised me that it became a 2022 favorite because I didn't think it was going to. I really just was like, oh, it's Addison Rae's line. She's, I think, a TikToker. You know, sometimes you hear about these celebrities just putting their name on something that's not that great. I will say I think the doe foot has the actual applicator leaves a bit to be desired compared to some other products, but the formula itself makes me not care. Makes me not care at all. And I'm wearing it today, and I think it holds everything together really nicely. Everything looks smooth. Everything looks well put together. I'm still beyond shocked that I still love this and reach for this regularly. Now, if we're going to talk about summertime, or if we're going to talk about very natural, practically no makeup, I talk some mad crap about this product, and now I get to eat my words yet again in a video, and I'm not sorry, because I did the due diligence, I did the work behind the scenes, and now I am a reformed lover of products like this. I learned my lesson. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Glow Wand. So it's not Shape Tape Concealer that all of us have been like, that's too thick. This is what I use underneath makeup. Almost considers this that step in between skincare and the start of your makeup. Because what you do with this glorious little baby, once I learned how to properly use her, was put this, not as a concealer, no, even though it's on a handful of concealers. You put this down on your bare skin, blend her in, and then let her live her life, give it a beat like you would skincare, and you could just have look at this, you can't even see it on my skin, but it's got this glow luminosity to it that is not highlighter-esque at all. It is very subtle, it is very natural, it makes it look like you don't need makeup. Like if there is a day that I literally am like, all right, I'm not gonna do makeup today, but I need something for these under eyes. I need to look awake. I need to do something for myself or a meeting. Literally, I just put this on underneath my eyes, pat it in, maybe powder it down because I'm oily, and go. This changed my makeup game. This changed my morning routine life in the summer because in the summertime, I'm pretty sure there were days I did not use concealer at all. I put this under my eyes, did a little foundation, everything looked glowy, dewy, natural, easy breezy. Did some brows and left. Did my thing. Went about my day and still felt like I was like pulled together because makeup for me isn't just a beauty thing. It's also a mindset thing. For me, it really helps me get through the day like I am a bad bitch. I can get through this day. I can do anything. I am superwoman. My makeup does that for me in the day. It's part of my like morning mental therapy, my routine, whatever you want to call it. This is awesome. Love it. Hated it at first because I didn't understand it. Also, I think this little spongy back here is a joke because I've tried to use that several times. I can maybe use it in a pinch, but usually I just use my fingers or a normal sponge. Love this stuff so much still. You may have heard me talk about it before, but I haven't talked about her in a long time. She's like a secret weapon. Shh. Now, usually I would talk about this at the end of a makeup section because this is usually how most people bookend their makeup with a setting spray. I will tell you, there are times I really need that middle of the road set down. After I have done some powders, I go into my all-nighter from Urban Decay. Nothing has beat this for me. There are things that complement this for me if I need a little bit more dew or if I need a little bit more of another formula, but this is still something that I am a ride or die with. I don't need to go into too much in depth about it because she's amazing, but I did not do it at the end of the makeup because I did it in the middle of the makeup, but you get it, right? Keeps the makeup on longer. Some people really don't think setting sprays do much for them, and maybe their skin is just more complementary to makeup. My face eats makeup. It's insane how much my face eats makeup, but I needed another set down because I did it in the middle after the powders, but I needed more for the end of, like, let's keep her on all day long. I have to talk to you about powders. Now this one is gonna feel a little painful for me. Speaking of powders, it's gonna hurt because I got this with the AOA line from Shop Miss A, and then it disappeared. This girl ghosted all of us because when I started talking about it, some of y'all could get your hands on it, and then we couldn't get a hold of it. So I've not talked about it in a really long time, and I still can't get a hold of it. While I'm here, I'm just gonna go on their website right now and look up to see if I can find the AOA Perfect Pressed setting powder. Mine is in 154 beige, and this shade has been out practically ever since after I did that video, y'all bought it out. I swear that's what happened is I talked about it, told you guys this was so good that I used it down really quickly this year to pan to nothing. I have little crummies in here, but I even preferred this dollar powder over my OG CoverGirl Advanced Radiance that I have used, I don't know, since middle school, that nothing has dethroned this for me. Well, now I'm having a hard time with it because I can't get this back in stock, so I had to go buy another one. Not that I don't love you. I still love you, CoverGirl. I do, obviously. But this, $1, so creamy, opaque enough. You can build it up or you could just thin it out with a brush. Loved this. I have to look on their website. Do we have it back yet? Is it a holiday miracle? Let's see. They have bronzers. They have it in, do they have it in porcelain? If they have it here in beige right now, I will be buying it right now on camera. Not sorry. No, they don't even have it listed anymore. Can you not make it anymore? They have it in ivory. They have it in sand. They have it in toffee. Can I make sand work? Oh, that's got some yellow base to it. I don't really need yellow base. They have it in all the other colors. I cannot find it in beige. It was like, I hate pan on it so quickly. I went through it this year. It is empty. I love it. It's so good. This became a holy grail for me, but it can't be a holy grail if I can't buy you ever again, if you're not even listing it. Having feelings. Okay, let's move on before I cry. All right, there is another powder that I have been trying for a while that I just found out now this is being discontinued, but I couldn't really talk about it too much on my channel because it says it was cruelty-free, but I think maybe some of the places that they distribute to aren't cruelty-free, so this kind of put this in that gray area of being cruelty-free, but it's also expensive AF. So we're going from $1 of amazingness that I can't get my hands on to crazy bougie Dior. I know. I know, again, we're doing the gamut here. We're going across the entire financial abilities when it comes to makeup sometimes in these videos. But this was a Christmas present from Adam last year because he had heard me saying, I'm so interested in this. I'm so interested in this. He bought it for me because he's a doll and it's crazy pricey. This is the BackStage Face and Body Powder No Powder. When I tell you, this has saved so many makeup things when I've tried makeup on days where I'm trying a foundation that maybe isn't working for me, a color story, or maybe something is settling so poorly on my bossy skin that the pores are just seeping through on a new foundation or concealer or skincare or whatever. This, literally, I'm just sitting here putting it on with you now, smooths everything out. This, for me, is a pressed version of one of my favorites. Y'all know I talked about for years and years and years, that I still have a backup of because I use her so much. The Fenty Beauty Cashew Pro Filter Powder. I think some of y'all really love, what's the other shade? Some of y'all told me to get banana. I got banana. This is so good. This is like a pressed version of this powder. Finely milled. Goes really well with the skin. Glides on so your skin looks like, I don't know, velvet. It looks like silk. It looks so smooth. It's the pressed version of this. I swear to you it is. And maybe Fenty found out. Maybe that's the scandal I'm making up behind my head right now. All allegedly. Nobody sue me. You're all big names. But this powder is the exact same form, it feels like, in a pressed form, and it makes my skin look so good even when I'm trying things that are maybe cream products that seep into these pores and make everything look like garbage. This brings it all back together to be smooth and beautiful. But now they're discontinuing it. Which I don't know how that's possible because I feel like Samantha March has single-handedly been strapping this up on her back and telling the entire world how good it is. And it influenced me to talk to my husband to be like, man, I really want this powder, but it seems so expensive. And then he bought it for me for Christmas last year. Yeah. Now they're discontinuing it. She's gone through so many versions that I'm sad. I'm sad for her, but I'm also sad for us. But again, loose version of it, I swear to you, is the Pro Filter from Fenty. Try it if you haven't tried it, but I'm gonna use this up till it's gone. Also, the brush that I love using it with, this is like my face brush that when I'm needing that powder moment to really finish off a look, this is what I go with. This is a Battington brush, and this is one of their tapered, like fluffy brushes. This is like super luxe feeling, super bougie feeling. I use it with all my really good quality powders, and I'm obsessed with it. So I feel like she's worth an honorable mention because she does the work for me every time I'm putting on my makeup. Every time. Today's bronzer choice is something that came to me mid-year in a BoxyCharm. She is bougie, but she's really quality. Well, actually both of them. I've got two in here that I got from BoxyCharm, and this one feels a little luxe because of the packaging. This is the Bronze Noix from Viseart, and like it's like this little, I call it a compact because it comes in this little format, but it's a single, and it is so quality. The shade that I received, VBR01 Bronze Noix, it is so nice. I used it today, super smooth, super buttery. You can build her up, but she also can be subtle. You could go dramatic with her. She looks like your skin though. It doesn't look like I have a lot of powders on even when I build it up. I find this to be the perfect tone. I love how it sits on the skin. Doesn't pull. It's just stunning. The other one that I got from a BoxyCharm is massive. It is the size of my head. I mean, look how huge this is. This is the iconic London Ultimate Bronzing Powder. This came out, I think they got it when it was new. And you see how big this compact is, yes? Don't be shocked when I show you the pan. Look at the pan on this. I have loved this to nauseam this year. It is so quality. Did we get this year or did we get this last year? My brain is in a fog. All I know is that this is so massive and I have hit so much pan. Like, if that's not an endorsement for how much I have loved this bronzer, what is? What is life if that's not the truth, right? This is so quality. Build it up, blend it out. I feel like this looks like a suntan on my face even when I don't have a suntan. It is stunning. It is very versatile. I feel like I can use it as a little bit of a contour. I can use it on the nose. I can use it on an eye look. I even travel with this monster. She's so big, but I have traveled a couple of times this year and she's come with me on all the trips. I'm just saying if it's an endorsement. Someone's gonna need to put the fire hose on me because the more I get into talking about these products and my love for them, I just get heated. I get so excited. We have new things to talk about when it comes to eyeshadow palettes. We have some old things when it comes to talking about eyeshadow palettes, but I feel like I need to get through the brows first because this isn't the order I do my makeup in. And I have to say, I do brows, then I do my eye makeup, and brows are super important on this face because they're a little bold, but at the same time, I don't like doing my brows. I don't like it. If the product has to be so much smarter than me to make this work. And there are some things that I have repurchased several times. And this was from a brand that I got from a BoxyCharm, then rediscovered them at TJ Maxx, I think, maybe Marshall's. And it's so good. This is the I Am Inspiring pencil from Real Her. Real Her is really good at having their products be called very like motivational things. I Am Inspiring is a great brow pencil. This can build up a brow. In the front of my brows is really where I struggle to have that beginning shape. So it can go crazy really quickly. And those old school triangular tips really gave us those blocky brows that were like a whole vibe for a moment. And now we all look back and go, but why? But why? So this, I feel like I love how thin it is. I love that I can just kind of like carve out a brow, smooth it out and go. I did have a little bit of a panic attack when I traveled with this last week to St. Louis, where I'm from, because I went to do my brows. This is the way I start my brow, and then I go into some powders, and there was nothing here. And I knew I was running low, like this is all I have left. So I knew I was running low, but it was empty. It was gone. It had fallen out. Are you gonna fall out now? Please don't. It fell out. I had to find it on the like bathroom vanity, lightly put it back in, and pray that I didn't lose it the rest of the trip, because that's how I start a brow. That's how I get the beginning shape to start. And I think it's really smooth and easy. I don't have any of the other one now, but Billion Dollar Brows is another one I've gotten from subscription boxes. And again, indie brands are really quality, and you can find them really inexpensively at like TJ Maxx, Marshall's. Don't sleep on indie brands just because maybe they're not always readily available at the drugstore or something like that, because these are really good. I think this is going to be my second or third year talking about them in a row, but BrowBar, I don't need to go too in depth into it because you've heard me talk about these guys at nauseum as far as their powders go. Really quality, but look at this. Look at the pan. Double pan. Not only do I love this product for my brows, I just get a small little angled brush, go up into my brows to kind of just fill them in, feather it out up there, but also if your girl is in between hair color sessions, my brows are a really good indicator of the color of my hair, yes? So I've also gone into a specific brush that I have dedicated just for my hairline. I will pop into this at the 6 to 8 week mark when I need to get my hair, my roots done, and go into one of these, fill it in. It does not run down your face. This stays all up in your hairline as well. It is a multi-use tool as far as I'm concerned. Still love and rave about this product. Not sorry. And my friends at e.l.f. again, don't sleep on e.l.f. Yes, they are a drugstore, and I know at one point they were like $1. So I think some people in their minds had discounted maybe the quality. When I tell you, e.l.f. is like one of my ride or die drugstore brands. Trust when I say this e.l.f. Wow Brow has now been a staple in my product line, in my beauty space for, gosh, at least a year and a half. I can trust this to travel with. I can trust this in my brows to not only hold everything together, but give it just a little bit more complexity, a little bit more hair-like strokes, especially up in the front where I struggle. So good. Drugstore brand, inexpensive, super quality. You don't need to waste or spend a lot of money on high-end things all the time. Some things you could have a lot of things. 99% of makeup you can get at the drugstore and be like, girl, drugstore is up to their game. It is making high-end makeup lines really like go, ooh, we gotta look out for those guys because it's so good. Eyeshadow palettes. I feel like it's a whole video for me, but I do want to give you some of my top palettes for 2022 that I have found, even if I'm only reaching them for like 1 or 2 pieces, it has been so consistent in 2022 that I miss them when I travel, or I'm taking them with me even if I only use a few shades. To start it off, Persona Cosmetics came to play this year, and I got so much stuff from them from BoxyCharm where it was like their creamy eyeliners, their lip liners, their eyeshadow palettes, and I was like, where have you been all my life? You are my best friend. Let's talk about the Persona Identity 2 eyeshadow palette. I have loved this so darn much. And yes, you're seeing a lot of vibrant tones, but my basic self has fallen in love with these two shades specifically. This creamy shade here is really opaque. Look at that. I barely touched it. Super opaque for the lid, which I love to start it. And then this is a great crease tone. Perfect. It's got enough warmth to it, but also enough neutral tones that I could go any which way with an eye look. I actually got a brand new Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette for Christmas, and I was like, how do I start my eye look? I just want to have something that I feel confident with so I can kind of figure out which way to go with my eyeshadow palette next. And these are the two I started with, even going in with a new glam palette from Natasha. I'm obsessed. But I trusted this enough to come into this before I went into Natasha. I'm just saying I'm putting them on the same level of formulation in my mind when I do things like that. And then I'm that type of girl that likes to also have multiple palettes out a lot to just kind of mix and match and make a look with. Now, a lot of the palettes I'm going to talk to you about are more neutrals, but that's just really where my heart has lied for a while, but there are some bold, colorful ones, and this is another one of those. I do go into, like, obviously the brown tones, the Resilience, the Braves, but I've also jumped into some other things like Passionate, Empowered. I went into Driven earlier this year. This has a lot of options, but the formula on Persona shocked me this year. Love, 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 traveled with her. Also, ColourPop. This whole nude mood vibe. I am near pan on some of these because I have fallen in love with not just how great ColourPop's formula is known to be, but the fact that I can mix and match with any other type of palette. Like I just talked about some high-end things, and I know I can still go into some of these and mix and match them together. That tells you about the standout quality that ColourPop has. Now, there's been a few palettes recently that I've also been like, some of their palettes aren't all the same as far as the formulation goes, but this one I can stand by and say that I really love it for a great natural, neutral look that you can smoke it out, make it a nighttime look, or just have an easy breezy daytime look. Now, if you want to get really inexpensive, because ColourPop is known to be really inexpensive, high quality formulas, Essence is always back there in the back of my mind because I feel like their products are a little underrated. Some people talk about them a lot, some people never talk about them. This is a palette that I have had now for at least 2 years, and I would still hold this palette up to a lot of my high-end palettes. This is the Essence Be Beautiful eyeshadow palette, and this one has a combination of some warms, some neutrals, shimmers, mattes. It's got a little bit of everything, and this is a palette I also have traveled with because it is so versatile, but it is high quality. And I'm not afraid to travel with it, even though it's in a cardboard component. This is still amazing formula. It will last all day. And again, my face eats makeup. It is a makeup eater. I find these shimmers up here are stunning. They last all day, super high quality. Love to apply them with a finger. I love to go into these matte shades to really blend out a look. I can go bold, I can go natural, I can layer. Don't sleep on some of these palettes, you guys, because I really think the drugstore is really shoving the big guys out of the way that are costing 50, 60 bucks. And again, like I said, I did just get a Natasha Denona $8 palette for Christmas because I was asking for it because I really wanted it. But I still put this in the same category of amazing products. I really do. So don't feel like you have to have the bougie stuff because some of these things are still ride or dies for me. Now we have some newer things in my collection and some older things that I rediscovered this year that made me go, when I moved, I think moving also, when you start touching every bit of your makeup to move it, decide what you're keeping, decide where things are going to be organized in my new beauty space, I fell in love with something that is freaking massive, and it's the main reason that I have a harder time remembering to use it or pulling it out because it's in a different drawer. It also gets buried under things. But my OG Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, and a lot of people don't have a good taste in their mouth for Morphe anymore. I get it. But if you already have this OG palette, this is the first run. A lot of you have probably already heard, if you are YouTube lovers and you follow a lot of makeup content for years, you probably already have heard that her first run of this palette is not the same as what is sold currently. The volume 1 is still sold, but it's not the same formulation. This formula is better. It's just better. I'm sorry. But I rediscovered this year, and then I started pulling it out for all of some colorful looks that I started pulling out towards the end of the year. Got a little out of my neutral phase for fall and started going into a little bit more colors and tones and vibrances. And this palette does it for me still. I got this palette at Christmas, my last Christmas in St. Louis. Was that 2017? I've had her a while, and she still performs like a champ. I rediscovered my love for this year. I just have, love it. Look through your collection. You don't always have to have the newest thing. What do you still have that you're like, dang girl, you still perform beautifully? I need to rediscover you. Do that for yourself, save yourself some money. BoxyCharm really came through over the past few years with giving us some Natasha, who I was just speaking about, in the mini formats. And the Ayana, I didn't love at first. I did not love it at first because it's a cooler tones. And I have historically, if you've been with me a long time, been a warm eyeshadow lover. Then I kind of have been going through a new cool tone phase these past few years. And this Ayana palette, it took a while to grow on me, but she has impressed me to the point that I told Adam at Christmas, like I just said, hey, I've been eyeballing a couple different Natasha Denona palettes. Get me the Glam palette because it feels like the big sister to that palette. Yes, we've got a lot of naturals and neutrals and warm tones. I mean, this is probably literally is the kid sister. Now that I'm looking at them side by side, I mean, it probably is, and I just didn't know it. It's not called the Glam Mini or anything. It's just called the Ayana palette, but it's definitely this in a big kid format, and I wanted it after playing with this for so much and realizing how many different looks I could get and how much I was loving all of it. I just was. So super, super grateful that even though I have been very hard on BoxyCharm in 2022, and yes, that best and worst video is still coming. Don't worry, that is still coming. I feel like they did a lot of things right too, and I've been so grateful to have been able to be with them as long as I have been and get some really great products, including Natasha, especially their past, what was this, in 2020, 2021 that we were getting a lot of their Natasha. Patrick Ta really shook up YouTube this year between the foundations, lip products, face products, and these eyeshadow palettes, specifically the Dimensions 2, which is what this is. This one even outperformed the first Dimensions palette. Like, this one really got people's attentions. This is more warm toned for me. Some people call this neutrals. I don't call this neutrals. I call this warm toned. I call this a little bit deeper, richer tones. And they perform really well. I tried this product at first with something I was testing as far as like an eye primer went, and I didn't love that combo. But then I tried this the normal way I would do my eyeshadow, which is honestly just with a concealer on my lid. Perfect. Beautiful. Love these shimmers. I love the option over here of a cream shadow to really build up an eye look, to make something special. This is a holiday palette. This is a fall palette. This is a spring and summer palette. It has so many options to it for being a more warm toned palette. This shocked a lot of YouTube this year, and I really loved it. Now we got to talk about, oh, one more thing. I rebought this. I almost forgot to talk about it again, but I rebought this because I bought it for myself for my birthday like a year and a half ago and used it up. She didn't dry up. I used her up. This is the Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Smoldering Satin. I almost put it on today, but I was playing with my new eyeshadow palette. Let me play. I love this so much. I didn't even get this on a sale when I repurchased it. Like, normally I would try to like repurchase something on a sale because I really try a lot of makeup for my channel. But this is so good. It definitely goes with the Glam palette that I just showed you that I got for Christmas too, because it's a cool toned chocolate shimmer eye piece that is stunning. Now I want to put it on. Darn it. All right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it with you. We're going to put it on right now. And what I love about the Stila glitters is that I really feel like you don't need to be extra with it. You could just literally use the doe foot, use your finger, and you're done. It does not require a whole setup. It doesn't require get out brushes. It doesn't require you getting out special tools, special primers. She can go right on your lid directly and go. Didn't even mean to put her on today, and here we are. She adds just enough that it's just that nice little touch on the lids. It's beautiful all times of year. Yes, the holidays, you think of sparkles, you think of New Year's, you think of sparkles. But like, I would do this all the time. You can even build it up if you want to. It does not fight itself, which a lot of the toppers I discovered when I was trying to learn them would do. They would pull each other off. It was not complementary to its own self. This is not like that, which is why I used it to the absolute maximum that there was nothing left in it when I bought it before. All right, we got to talk about some lippies. This video is long. I know, I'm sorry, because we still have a lot of lifestyle to talk about. I already have a backup battery on my battery because I knew this was going to be long for y'all. If you are still someone who likes a good liquid lip underneath your gloss, I am still that girl from time to time. If you want something that doesn't feel like a liquid lip but gives you that lasting ability, Huda's mattes. These are the demi mattes. I still love Day Slayer. I have one other shade somewhere in a handbag. It is quality because it still has some movability to it. I put it on top of a liner. This one is drying out because I've used her so much. I'm pretty much at the end. I can see grabbing at the sides and like pulling the product because I'm using this up. The lip liners of my personal choice right now don't look fantastic. I got them from subscription box, probably BoxyCharm. These are Basic Beauty lip liners. These are super creamy. They're in latte and cocoa. These have been my latest obsessions. I have used them ever since I got them from BoxyCharm. They're my current go-to, honestly. I have some Patrick Ta's that I like. I have some other random ones that I've really liked. I like the Steve Laurent, but the ones that I keep finding myself reaching for that really last, really last, if I'm just doing this and a gloss and then the gloss comes off because it's what a gloss does, but my lips still look like I still have something underneath because it's so opaque, are these Basic Beauty ones that look unimpressive. They look like they're, you know, independent brands that don't have a lot of money to put towards their packaging because that's what these are, but the quality of the pencil, so good. Highly recommend these. And now let's talk about the showstoppers that I have been obsessed with this year. The Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lips. I love them. I love, this one here is Orchid. I have Hibiscus. Hibiscus I think is my favorite. I'm putting so many things on my lips right now. I'm not sorry. I have like 2 or 3 of these also in my handbag. These are stunning. Highly recommend these. I think they are the perfect formula of opacity and juiciness for your lip any time of year. Hold on, got a leg cramp. When I film these long videos, my body just starts to cramp up. Give me a second. Filming long form content, not as easy as you think. Oh, my legs are just falling asleep. Okay, the Patrick Ta Major Glow Lip Shines are my favorites. I have 2 different shades here in She's Expensive. Got this from a BoxyCharm. Patrick Ta then sent me later the Is She Younger Than Me? I really hate that name. Or is it in reverse? I can't remember which one came from which. I really hate the name Is She Younger Than Me? I think that's terrible marketing and branding, but I love the lip shine, so I'm going to deal with it. These are so good. I just put on the Tarte Maracuja and I meant to put these on, but these make your lips pouty. They make your lips juicy. They give you that little extra like pout, but it doesn't ting and sting like the Tarte Man Eater lippies do. These, you feel them. Like it is like really like plumping your lips, but in an uncomfortable way, but your lips look good, so you deal with it. These, it's so smooth. You get that nice finish. The doe foot is not extra large as well. It's actually a nice shape. Whereas as much as I love the Tarte Man Eaters, I'm just going to compare and contrast for you, the doe foots are massive. They're also a little bit goopier and stickier, I would say, than the Patrick Ta. I love them all. I will use them all, but they have different needs, different formulations. I've talked about these Tarte ones for a while, but I will say I do think these are my favorites right now. The Patrick Ta, so good. And the mascara that has changed the game again is from Essence. I have fallen in love with so many of the Essence mascaras for $4.99 over the years. You guys know I'm always like, you don't need to spend a ton of money. I feel like certain products you're gonna go through really quickly, or they have a short shelf life like mascaras do. So I really have a hard time with when the trends would go around of being like the Better Than Sex mascara, or certain ones that are just like $24 and you get it for maybe 3 months. It really is hard to do that. These are $4.99. And my favorite one right now is the Curl and Volume Mascara from Essence/Princess. I also have really loved historically the False Lash Effect, but that one I do notice a lot more of the fallout on my face throughout the day. I see less of that, I would say, with the Curl and Volume Mascara, which is their new combo. And that's what I want, is I want curl and I want volume. I want it all. I'm not wearing falsies today because I was loving this, and I also just kind of want to let my lashes live a little bit it helps them in the long run if I'm not wearing falsies. So that's why I was just loving wearing this and going. I think this is all of the makeup that I really wanted to talk to you about. I am over an hour now of filming time and had to stop the filming for a leg cramp, but now we have to talk about lifestyle. So give me a second. I gotta pull some stuff out and we're gonna still keep going. Okay, y'all, I want to get in as much as I can in this video for you guys to know all of my 2022 favorites, and that is going to include some like beauty lifestyle things, some home lifestyle things, and some things that just make my life easier now that we are in a bigger house. Nothing in this video is sponsored. I specifically do that on purpose at year-end videos because I want to give you my most authentic, true feelings about things. But some things I have received in PR and I have tried for a long amount of time, and I want you to know the truth about them. So nothing in this video is sponsored that I'm going to be telling you about, from makeup to all of this. Something that I got from a BoxyCharm, which I feel like a lot of times I say that tells you that's why I still love working with BoxyCharm. I still love getting BoxyCharm because I get things that I now have staples of, and I bought this 3 or 4 times on my own. This is the Secrets of the Snow hairstyling foam. This is from a brand called Vor. I can't stop buying this because everything else I try does weird things to my wavy curly hair. My hair is naturally wavy curly. It has a lot of body to it, but if I use things that are specifically for curls from certain brands, it does the tight curls that aren't consistent. There's some static and some frizz to them. This is something that I only need a couple of pumps of, put it in my hair, and I don't need to do anything else. And it makes my hair so voluminous. It gives my hair a lot of life, a lot of volume. I have bought this over and over again because I think this is a standout product. So if you have wavy curly hair like I do, maybe give this a try if you did not receive it from BoxyCharm, because it is so quality, and it's the one thing that I can keep reaching for when I keep trying other things, kind of like makeup, and you're like, this isn't working for me. This is too much of this, not enough of that. This is like a perfect combination for the way I like my hair to look. I let y'all know about a nail crisis, right? Because I told you guys I was really struggling with my nails because I was going to the salon. I was dropping at least $50 every month going to get my nails done. And it just got to a point that I'm like, I can't justify this when they chip immediately. Or like the nail is fine, but the gel comes off. I've tried dips, I've tried gels, I've tried all the things. And when you're on camera and you're doing close-ups of a product, it looks better when your nails are done. It just does. And I just really was struggling with making the appointments, doing the nails, finding that their nails were chipping within a week or two, and that's $50. So I was trying something that I showed you guys on my Instagram, and if you don't follow me there, you can follow me right here for some stuff behind the scenes that I am testing. These are from Target. This is from Dashing Diva Gloss. This is their Ultra Shine palette. This does not require any UV gels. It doesn't require any lights. It's no soak off, chip resistant. I have had these on now for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. These are the nail stickers I got from Target because I knew I was traveling. I was doing some holiday meetings, doing holiday parties for work, seeing family, and I really just needed to put my stuff together, and I didn't want them to chip off when I was traveling. So I took a risk, took a gamble, and I put these on my nails. I've now had them for over 2 weeks, and they still look great. Now, I'm still learning the best ways to apply them, and I think techniques are just gonna get better the more you do anything, makeup, hair, nails, all of the thing. But if I can do more stuff at home and not spend more money out, that's the move. That's what I'm trying to get to. So I'm gonna try to start doing my nails more at home, trying different brands, keeping you guys in the loop on what is working, what is not working, because I really just am sick to death of getting my nails done and spending too much money on it. I really, really am. I wanna do things more at home, and I am really loving this shiny effect for the holidays, for the new year, and then I'm gonna mix it up and I'm gonna see what else I can figure out. But this is something that now I've tried for 2 weeks, and I think for like $7.99, 2 weeks worth of your nails looking like you went to the salon, sounds good to me. And it comes with everything you need in this little thing here. You just literally put on the sticker and file down the end of it, and it's on your nails, and it stays. And I've done hot girl showers. Hot girl showers, you know what that is? Where it's like men would die if they got in that shower because it's so hot and steamy. I've done those, washed my hair, the whole thing, and they're lasting beautifully. Another hair tool that I have recently told you guys about is the Beauty Meter. It is a blow dryer that has a spinning hairbrush on the end of it with two different options, a bigger one and one with less teeth that's a little bit smaller. When I'm wanting to blow out all of this hair, I am loving that product. I have been using it since the summer now, and it is something that blow dries my hair, and I have a lot of hair that my hairstylist is always like, do you notice that your hair takes a long time to blow dry? I'm like, yeah, I do. I try to blow dry it every week unless I'm doing curly hair. So it is something that I have found blow dries my hair so much faster, does not break the bank. It's something I got off Amazon actually. It's $39.98, and when you're looking at how expensive some of these hair tools can be, and I feel like I'm getting two for the price of one with the multi-use where it spins, it has two heads to it. For 40 bucks on Amazon, I was just like, I was in love with it. So I'm definitely gonna be linking that below for you as well. It's something I have tested and tried and really enjoying. And now y'all know I've been working with Cupshe for the past like 2 years now. I've loved working with them. I get swimsuits from them, but they've definitely been transitioning more over to clothing things. They have been doing more dressy things for like the new year. They have been doing business attire, casual beachwear, swimsuits, the whole thing. I've loved so many of my pieces from Cupshe that I absolutely have to say they are one of my top companies that I love continuing to work with and give you guys deals on, because I truly do love them. I wore to St. Louis that little fun, this pink little jacket that has the little furries on it. I wore this to my company meeting for the party, the holiday party at year end, and it just dressed up a very simple, I think it was just a little black dress. It dressed it up so cute, so sweet. I was loving it, but also there are some things in there that are just staple pieces for me that I use. Also their swimsuits, I wear their swimsuits all the time to the beach. I wear them by, like when I'm just doing a beach day by myself, if I'm going with family, I will just love and live in those, even if I'm just sitting in my backyard. I think they are stand-up quality, and I love that their sizes range from like extra small to like 4 to 5X, because truly they believe everyone deserves something that's made of quality and it is gonna be complementary to your form. I'm a bustier woman, even though I'm more on the maybe more average woman size, I'm still really busty and I gotta like conceal some things, and the booty and the tummy, you know, just the stuff. We're women, we evolve with life, and I feel like their suits absolutely complement that. I guess what I'm saying is, even outside of those videos where you hear me talking about them, I wear them. Just like with makeup, just like with some handbags that I have to tell you about. Again, nobody's sponsoring this. Nobody knows I'm even talking about them in my favorites videos, but Teddy Blake is the brand of handbags. These are the Italian leather handbags that I am in love with. I've worked with them twice now. I've gotten some really sturdy structured bags and then a little bit more luxury high-end carry-all catch bags, and I think they are amazing. You can get Italian leather handbags literally without breaking the bank, because they don't have that like tax markup of everything being expensive. These are in the hundreds, not in the thousands. You can get them. They're always having sales as well. I just think their bags are stunning. I've carried them, my life in them. I've traveled with them, and everyone is always complimenting, going, where did you get that bag? Where did you get such a high quality bag that is clearly well made and well loved? I'm just like, Teddy Blake, you don't have to do the high-end bougie stuff when you can get quality luxury handbags for a much more inexpensive price. I'm just trying to help my friends out, because I really do carry these all the time. Something that I wasn't expecting to become a true staple in my house is some of these blankets. These are the Elegant cooling blankets that I told you about. It's an Amazon company, I think, because they have a chilling side to the blanket and then a more just cozy side to the blanket. I have one in gray, and then I have one in more of that teal blue that you see back there. Adam and I use nightly on the couch. He gets this gray one, this is the one he likes, and then I have the bigger blue one because the puppies are always sitting on me. You know how that goes when you're the dog mom, all the dogs pile on top of you. We use these every night. It got chillier, so we switched over to, instead of the chill side, the warm side where it's more cozy and soft, but these genuinely we have in our living room all the time. And they are very cooling because we do live in Florida, and I like to be cool in the evening, so usually I do have the cooling side down, but when it's, 30-something, 40-something degrees in Florida, that's when we switch over to the other side, and we both love these. They're a nice heavy blanket, but they're not like the cooling side makes it still so you're cool when it's hot. It's this weird witchcraft that I love, but genuinely, again, they don't know I'm talking about them right now. We use these daily. daily. They're staples in my living room. That Adam's like, where's my blanket? It's the end of the night. I'm watching my shows. Where's my blanket? So he's got a special spot for his blanket, and I have one too. Love them. I also really was trying to organize my life in this new beauty space. Now that I have an entire beauty room dedicated to this channel and what I love to do. So I got some organizers that I'm going to show you that I got from Amazon that are perfect for the tall Alex IKEA drawers. These are the tall ones that I hold all of my makeup in, but now I'm holding jewelry in them as well. I've got jewelry holders in there, and they just help keep everything organized. I also have a sunglass holder. I also got some pieces that hold my backup makeup. So I'm gonna link everything below for you, but organization for me, I find, is like tidy mind, tidy life. So that is something I feel like going into a new year too. Maybe you wanna get like a handle on the decluttering in your house or organizing your house. That is something I'm still doing here in this beauty space because I am keeping things organized. And speaking of organized, you know your 30s are showing when you are at the movies with your husband. You're scrolling on Instagram before anything starts. I'm not that asshole that has the phone on before it's before we got there early, even before the previews. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. This is on Instagram. God, my 30s are showing. This organizes all of our Ziploc bags. It's got the gallon size. It has the snack, the quart, the sandwich. We have all of the sizes all the time, and they're always in the box, like filling up a drawer. So now we have an organizer for all of them. This comes in different styles, different colors and everything. We got the format that slides out. How does this one slide out? Oh, like this. Like slides out so you can refill it, but they also have a kind that doesn't slide out, so you can, I guess, just toss them in there. We're obsessed with this. I mean, again, our 30s are showing, but this is an Amazon purchase. Got an ad on TikTok, on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. And I was like, Adam, do you think we need this? And he literally went, send me that. I'm buying it right now because he's organizing his kitchen. I'm organizing a beauty space. He's organizing a kitchen. We love stuff like this. It helps keep things tidy, organized, simple. We love it. Okay guys, I feel like that's a lot of things to go through, to talk about with you. I don't even know how long this video is going to be. Thank you for hanging in there with me when I go through all of my favorites for 2022, because I know we're kind of getting into this crunch time of the year where you're going to want fresh content for 2023. So I just put everything into this one video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for caring what my favorites are for year in 2022. And don't worry, BoxyCharm's best and worst are coming. I will see you then. Bye, friends.